Talk Shoe. Recorded live.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever it may be, across the nation or around the world. Once again, you're listening to the VMware Communities Roundtable Podcast. This is podcast number 716. My name is Eric Nielsen, and with me today, I have my regular co-host, Bob Plankers. Today is Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. Bob, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm back from vacation, and my vacation attitude hasn't been spoiled yet, so that's really nice. How are you doing, Eric?
I'm doing great. I saw that New Orleans had some weather or something down there that was threatening Mardi Gras. Okay, I don't know what the deal was.
Well, Mardi Gras was yesterday. Mardi Gras Day is yesterday, and high winds, thunderstorms, even a tornado warning. Yeah, I got out of there before that. I left on Monday, so I missed all of that.
You had the wonderful experience and then avoided the weather, so that's awesome. Yeah, it's got storming here in California again. We got another couple days of rain and a weekend of sun, and then it's rain again. So we're getting a late, going out with a roar, right? Winter is not going to let us go. Going to give us a lot of rain. So we're doing that. On the show today, we're going to be talking about cyber recovery and business continuity with Tarsio Moraes and Marcio. And we'll get him. He's a cloud architect for Broadcom, so get to hear about him. He works out in the field, deals with customers. So we got him on the show today to talk about that topic. But before we do that, we'll do a drive-by to Corey Romero. I know the experts are out and live, so that's plodding along. Corey, what else is going on?
Just dealing with applications right now. I mean, I'm sorry, appeals right now. We're up to 1,241 vExperts. So
nice.
The numbers are climbing as appeals come in, and got a lot of meetings set up for vExperts. So we got a lot of things happening.
I think we should treat vExperts like kind of Fight Club. Like if you miss it, you miss it. Sorry, no more appeals. Like you get a X amount of time to answer. If you don't answer, sorry, no vExperts.
No, these are some of the mistakes that the voters made, right? Like like someone picked the wrong track, VCDX, and they
were not. Yeah, they're not.
VCDX declined, where
you can't hold the
application, and it's actually like, wow, this person did a lot of community work.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's great. Well, I'm glad it's going, and I know that VMware Advantage was getting their year-long Advantage awards for you guys, so you can give out the certificates for those things. So I know that's going, and we're working busy with the VCF portal, so you can go get your licenses when you pass your VCP-VCF certification. That's supposed to go live this week. So a lot of things going on, right? Like keeping you busy.
Very.
Yeah. Nice. Mr. Plankers, anything we need to talk about in the news? I don't think I have anything other than Connect is happening. And, if you've heard about Connect in St. Louis for the VMUG Connect, you can go register for that. Going to be
my travel was approved, so I'll be there.
Ooh, nice. Now, do they make you bicycle, or do you actually get to drive a car and charge?
I may drive my pickup truck down. But, biking seems like a long.
That's like a very Wisconsin thing to do, right? Isn't that?
What, bicycling or
no, driving a truck,
I guess
road trip in a truck. I had a buddy that was from Wisconsin, Madison, and he had a truck and a trailer, and he just drove all over the nation. He was like, I'm just going to go driving back to Wisconsin.
I think that's terrific. And nowadays with things like Starlink and whatnot, you can be wherever you want, so. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
I don't have much in the news. Yeah, Connect. Yeah. Looking forward to Connect. That's a month and a half here.
Yeah, month and a half. Yeah, we're ramping up. I say it's the end of April, so it's more like 2 months, right? 2 months and a couple of weeks. But it's ramping up. Everybody, Hawk and Frank Denneman.
Yeah, we got a lot of big names.
Yeah,
going to that thing.
And I looked at Frank's session. It was actually pretty interesting on AI, right? Like, model recreation and the fact that he doesn't think that IT is going to completely regenerate models. So it looks like it's going to be an interesting talk. I actually want to send him some questions because I read it. So that one's going to be a good one. Hawk is obviously going to be a good one. And a lot of VCF stuff, install, manage config, all of that. And I think Tanzu's making a show now. We got Tanzu guys showing up to do some stuff. And ANS, Avi Networks, Avi and Oh, and vDefender. So vDefender.
Yeah.
And vDefender got approved this week to be in the VMUG Advantage program. So
That's
if you do,
terrific.
you get
That is a really cool tool.
Yeah. So that'll come also 128 core license for you to use. So bundling that all up, and I just feel like this week we're getting momentum around what the old VMware used to look like is all communities, all pieces, everything's back in play, which is fun. It's nice. I like it. A lot of momentum going, and so I think that's it. I think. Call for papers from Explorer isn't out yet. I think it's coming out in another week or so. So stay tuned for that. Other than that, I think it's pretty much quiet as we go until it isn't. Right. So excited about that. So Tarsio, let's get Tarsio. Oh, like Tar XVF. Right.
Yes. Cars like from Interstellar. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. TARS. Oh, right. Yeah. You're a robot with big metal arms. Right. Okay. Right. Tarsio, welcome to the show. We always say we're a community podcast. So we always ask our guests to talk a little bit about yourself. How did you get to be a cloud architect? How long have you been in the VMware ecosystem? And maybe how did you get here to begin with? How did you end up in IT and, architecture and all things compute?
Okay. You guys can hear okay?
Yeah, you sound great.
So, first of all, thank you for having me here today. It is a pleasure. So, a little bit of myself. My name is Tarsio Moraes. I am born in Brazil. So, Portuguese is my native language, but I can speak also English and Spanish as my third language. So, one thing. I started with IT more than 20 years ago. And one of my first company was a laboratory to blood work. And local internal, and then I fall in love with
Well, Bob,
Well,
it sounds like
we're losing you a little bit here.
Yeah,
you're losing. Okay, let me try to do something here very quickly and come back in a second.
All right, that sounds good. And if nothing else, we'll turn off his camera because usually we get enough bandwidth on the camera.
Yeah.
So while we're listening, Bob, I'll give you an update on my my Nook, my vExpert Nook from way back when. Right. I did get so it only has one PCMCIA SSD card slot.
That's really old, dude.
No. What's the new one? An M2 SD card slot. PCI Express. Yeah, it only has one, so you only got one on this guy. So the Wi-Fi card slot is some other slot, but you can get an adapter.
Hijacking that.
Yes, and I hijacked it, and I put a 256 gig SSD in that. Right, so now I got two drives. I got a terabyte drive for the one and a 256 gigabyte, so I can use that. Yeah, so now I got two drives. I also got 64 gig of memory on it. Right, so now I'm at the phase where
all in a space that's like tiny.
Yeah, no fan, just one little tiny box, and that will allow me to install vSphere 8 with vSAN. And that's what I'm up to next. Then there's an upgrade process to install NSX. Then there's a final upgrade process to install vCloud Director, and that gets me VCF.
All that into VCF, that's really cool.
Yeah. So if I'm lucky, I'll get all of VCF running on a 4-core.
You're nuts. Crazy.
Yeah. Now it might be really slow, but I got the terabyte, which I'll split into two 500 gigs, and use one of it for tiered memory. So that means I'll have 564 gig of quote memory that will allow me to maybe host 8 or 9 ESX servers, which would then get me enough to run VCF full stack. But you can't install it directly; you have to kind of layer it on. Yeah. So that's my deal.
That's very cool.
I'm back, guys.
You're back. You're back.
Yeah. Moving more quickly there.
Right.
Dropped off the VPN or something.
So back in the beginning, I started my career and
spoke too soon.
Yes, we did. He spoke very too soon. But we have got that he did start his career. We know that.
For 15 years. You got to hear me?
You're choppy again. Here, should we try the
turn off
the
your
video
camera? Yeah, just turn off your camera because most people listen on audio.
Okay. Maybe better.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. Yeah.
Give it a shot. Okay. So your career's been 15 years long or something like that?
Yes, I started 15 years ago and more than 50 years on IBM. So IBM was my first big company where I have a chance to learn and get a first touch with VMware. VMware Technology System version 3, version 4, 5, and so on. So in that time, I became a VM.
You know what I've learned, Bob?
It is probably our video.
No, it's he's probably on a Broadcom in a Broadcom building somewhere.
Let me try to do something different over my phone. So that's
what I would say, and we're going to have to ask people because I actually have to come home, Bob, in order to live stream.
Yeah,
because
I had to disconnect from the.
Yeah, the Broadcom
security things for traffic control and that, but
right. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it can't get through enough of the Broadcom firewall world to live stream, and it's weird because it connects like this, and you think you're good, and as soon as you start streaming, it just gets variable, completely variable. So
yeah, well, you start moving around and get animated and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. All of a sudden, the pixel rates go up. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's live, so.
This is true. It's live every Wednesday, 12 to 1. It's our lunch fun. Right.
Yeah,
so
well, I'm looking forward to this conversation with him, data protection, disaster recovery, business continuity on a lot of people's minds, a lot of organizations' minds, and it can be hard or it can be easy too, and I'm look at that. Yeah.
You're back. So we had a question for you. Are you in a Broadcom office?
No, I'm not. I'm in the home office in Italy, but I'm using a Broadcom. I'm using Broadcom laptop. Maybe some security issues or.
You're probably going.
But now I'm using my personal phone, so I think I'm gonna be good now.
Yeah, I think that's we were just saying that we've had trouble when we stream through Broadcom. That I actually come home to my house in order to and I use my own laptop because StreamYard and Broadcom are not very compatible.
Okay,
we should, Julia, we should make sure we mention that to guests so that
gotcha.
We avoid that.
So,
let's go.
Try to squeeze some time back. So
yes,
my career started the big major company that I have in my career was IBM.
Right.
So I started IBM, and it was the first time I have a chance to touch vSphere. So I started vSphere with version 3. Still Linux based, and then vSphere 4, vSphere 5, and so on. And one curious thing that is, I talked to the first time that I went to the VMware Award, and that time was VMware, now Explorer. The guy from the network and asked me how we learn network, and it was very simple. I was a server guy, Windows Linux guy, and a VMware guy. In that moment, I was hating the network guys because all is that fight between network team and server team and things like that. And then
pointing fingers at each other.
It's a network problem. It was a server problem. And then I started to learn network to fight with network guys. And then and then network become one of my passions. So when VMware brought Nicira and introduced NSX and NSXV in the back 2016, I was the one who implemented the first NSXV in a very large enterprise in Brazil. In that moment, VMware Brazil got this success case, and I went to explore in VMware World 2017 to do my first breakout session. And it also was my first time I went there to know the community. So I came to the community in that time. I was able to meet Corey in person, you, Eric, that person back in 2017. I entered the first party on the House of Blues. Was in that time was in and back in the all the Luxors and the Mandala Bay things and
Yeah, right, right,
before
yeah,
before they move it to another area. So was a very amazing. So, uh, but also in that time, after most uh, about 2018, AWS launched VMC on AWS. And then I got invited to jump to Amazon Web Services to launch and become engineer for VMC on AWS. So after 15 years career in VMware, doing NSX, loving, I also implemented the first IBM Cloud, the software IBM Cloud. So we launched our
Ah,
VCF on demand at that time, and then went to Amazon Web Services when I launched VMC on AWS. Pretty much, I went to AWS about 4 years. And then I tried to move to United States a lot of times via Amazon Web Services, but pandemic hit, a lot of craziness in the world. So, and one day I received a call from VMware saying, I know you for 15 years on IBM. I know you for 4 years on Amazon Web Services. Why not come to work to the mothership? And I say, I love it because I am a VMware guy. Because when I was in IBM, IBM was a reseller of VMware products and distributor. The same thing when I went to Amazon Web Services, I was out there working to EC2, whatever. I was working with VMware services inside of AWS. So now, and I always have the dream to get connections to the BU, the business use, to the engineers, to ask the secret sauce. I was able to leverage understand things better so I can help my customers. And then I received that offer to join VMware in Brazil. And boom, 1 year later, I receive another offer. Can you move to the United States to continue supporting everything that you do? Come on, amazing. And then I'm here in Charlotte, North Carolina, since October 2022 with my family.
nice.
And I'm still strong. And every time that I have a chance, I love to be in the VM world. I'm a community guy. I love to do uh, I love to do things like write a blog, video blogs. If you Google my name, you'll see a lot of videos showing NSX. And now, since I'm changing now countries, I'm rebuilding my domain to .com, not .com .br, but that's it. A little bit of myself. And right now, what am I doing? I'm doing cloud architect for VCF, so VMware Cloud Foundations, and also live cyber recovery. And pretty much, I have been also one thing that I love to do as being every time I have a chance, I love to be sharing everything that I love. So I'm a community guy. So if you're gonna go there and say, Tarsio, go there and do a presentation, go share your knowledge, write blogs. I'm a community guy because the way that I was able to connect with people uh, is through the community. Knowing people from the community, be a VMware expert, and share this connected to so many people, and also those people help me also get certification. Because if you get a Koga, if you get another guy, if you get all those things, and then the community also help me connected to the most famous guy, William and Len. Also, everybody, yeah, exactly, because their community, it was very hard to find those guys in a VMware or Explorer now in a breakout session. But those guys always hit the community guys and say hi, to talk about it. So it was very good and become a very expert and community guy. Being there a lot of times when I don't have a chance to be in a breakout sessions, I always offer myself to be let's do a community session. And then I was able to be last time now in 2024 in Las Vegas doing one session on code and three sessions on the community. So I was talking about VLR, pretty much is one of the hot topics today, cyber recovery. And also I want to think of how can I migrate workloads easily between clouds with HCX, one of a network product that I love it. But pretty much what I'm doing right now for the major of my customers is talking about library recovery. So it's a bit of a resume of my career. 20 plus years, IBM, AWS, and now VMware and VMware network guy, community guy, love to share knowledges. I'm not that guy that likes to hold knowledge, because the only way to me learn a new knowledge is to spread my knowledge. And also, I have no problem to say I failed this, because the only way to get a master in some things is to fail again and again and again, and learn for those mistakes and learn for it. And then you can become a better engineer, a better professional, a better person if you learn with those mistakes. But there's no reason. You need to fail. And when you fail, you ask for help for community. Example, another day I was working with um, a drain machine from Ubility. I was having a hard time to do BGP, and the community guy I put in the community and say,
All
someone did
right.
a BGP, whatever. So they help me.
All
So
right.
community
All
is
right.
good.
I'm gonna cut you off. I know you're a community guy, and we love community. And if you're probably listening to this podcast, you know all about this. So we'll go that. Bob,
Yes.
let's talk about cyber recovery and
Yes, go
security.
there, go there.
Let's get into that. And what Tarsio is saying is absolutely correct. The community is wonderful, and failure is an important teacher. Like if everything works right, you didn't learn anything, right? And so unfortunately that also applies to cyber recovery. It applies to business continuity. You don't want to, organizations that are good at business continuity usually have suffered a number of incidents.
Exactly.
And that, unfortunately, in my past, an organization I worked for, we got really good at failure recovery because we had a bunch of them, and that was all right. But, helping organizations that are up most of the time, and deal with that, and so Tarsio, that's what you're doing now. You said you're helping organizations. So do you help them plan for it? Do you help implement solutions? What role do you play in the whole thing there?
Initially, a lot of customers now are becoming worried about, how I'm gonna protect about ransom, how I'm gonna protect about cyber attacks, how I'm gonna recover, especially if I get infected, how I'm gonna recover.
Yeah.
Okay. And the companies who not have attack yet, they are looking for, how can I protect it? What are the best practices that I can implement it? What tools there in the market can help me out? Because there's a lot of tools. They say cyber recovery, whatever, protection things, but when you go there and see, they offer all the tools or the workflow and work frame and the requirements that's required to do. So pretty much when I talk about those kind of assessments, we ask to the customer the old base questions, and we see in the field that the majority of enterprise is still failing in a very two basic items. Okay, they are failing in protection the basics, and the end user is one of the most weak spot right now. Because when you think about cybersecurity, everybody's trying to fence north and southwest. For example, the main gate is secured. Okay, they're gonna put huge firewalls, they put scannings, they put everything there. So everything that's exposed to the external world is looks like secure. Okay, but then when you are looking for the human factor, if I send you an email, could be a phishing with a answer detected, pretty much any user from your corporation is gonna click it.
Yep. Well,
And
they always say don't click URLs in email. HR departments say, you go through the training and no URLs in email, don't click on them, that sort of thing. And the next thing from HR is a URL in an email, and it's why is it? It's easy, and so humans, you're right. Humans are a constant, but I struggle with blaming them. It's just something you have to plan around. And I think that's where you're going here.
Exactly. So exactly, because the one thing that you can do, you can education on this, but also the corporations are seeing that the education is not enough. They need to do something extra. So what I can do extra? Okay, how can I install any kind of internal tools, or how can I replay my security to avoid those things? So one thing that we are asking to the company, it is, let's do two things: prevention mode. Let's implement any kind of micro segmentation. Because imagine, if your company has infection, the first thing to do, the hacker or the enhancer are going to try to spread lateral.
Yep, move laterally. Yep.
Exactly. Using the major commons protocol, RDP. Do we still require RDP to run? Yes, it still require, but why I'm gonna leave RDP open to all those servers laterally or use a letter if I don't require those
Well, and
things?
that's the nice thing about the microsegmentation is it's
Exactly.
very granular and it's easy to change too. So you get a new admin, you hire somebody new, you can just go in there and add somebody to the group, you know, and you don't have RDP open. I'm sitting here chuckling too. I've heard RDP described as ransomware distribution protocol.
Exactly. It's the new nickname. Exactly. And also DNS. All the servers use a DNS. Okay. But why I'm gonna leave open DNS supports from server A to server B? I need to block that because that server only need to talk to DNS to the major DNS servers. So if you ask me, all those major corporates company right now don't have any kind of micro segmentations in place right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So everything, all the servers can talk to each other with laterally in the same network. So this is one of the things that we can have two solutions for that. We can offer cyber microsegmentations things, but this is like a prevention. Okay. But what I can do else? Okay, what I can do else besides network? Because this network configuration, right? We have an SX for do that. We can implement macro segmentations to help those things. Okay. But one thing that we can do, okay, what I can do extra? We have a new platform called the VMware Live Cyber Recovery. Okay, is one new product that is in the market for more than 4 years. This product came from acquisitions from Datron. So we acquired Datron a few years ago, and we get all those major codes. We also get all the major codes from SRM, our big brother, another disaster recovery solution. And we bounded both works together in that solution. And how that solution actually works is what we will offer to the customer. Because if I got encryption right now, if I get a virus, what I can do, that's one of the solutions that we can offer.
Yeah, well, you know, if you get a virus, so you know, your comment about microsegmentation, all of that, it's possible to do everything right and still have an attacker coming.
Oh, yes.
You know, like you can harden your environment and all that stuff, and you know, and something still finds its way in. You know, in the microsegmentation, you get detection capabilities and all of that. You know, and that's really important too. But you know, these attackers sometimes are very clever. They'll break in on your Friday night so that you know, they figure you're off and not working and not looking at things, that sort of stuff. And so, you know, and then they sit there. They these attackers, they'll
leave it there for 6 months
sometimes. And so figuring out, you know, you want to restore from backup. So you've been hit with ransomware. We'll just restore from backup. Well, you just restore the back doors again too, and you know, and so being able to clean that up, having a safe environment to restore that stuff to, that you know, the environment itself when you get hit with ransomware, you got to question everything basically.
Exactly. And how we have a solution, we have an offer that can, because one thing regarding cybersecurity, there's no magic button. Any company gonna promise you that is saying a lie. There's no company, no product with a magic button that's gonna fix everything now ASAP.
What, you're saying my marketing slide? You're calling my marketing slides with the easy button on it a lie? Come on, Tarsio. You know,
there's no easy button to recover that. That's one thing that we are gaining customer trust, because you're telling the customer you're gonna be a hard path to recover for, but we have a workflow and we have a tools to help that. So
and you can test it too.
Exactly,
you know?
And that's what I wanna. When you can tell a little bit technical, I want to explain a little bit of how solution is pretty much is working. Okay, our solution, it is a cloud-based solution. So why a cloud basic? Because our managed portion is cloud. So there's no on-prem. Because we are seeing a lot of attacks. The first thing that they do, they compromise your vCenter, they compromise your credentials, they compromise everything.
Yeah, you
So
can't trust your on-premises stuff. You
exactly.
know,
So
like,
don't have a vCenter access, don't have any kind of access anymore to be able to do those things. That's why one of the solutions, we put our managed platform in a cloud-based, in isolated environment in the cloud. So if any kind of event occurs, you will not lose your managed plane. Your managed plane is safe there on the cloud.
Cool.
Okay. Moving forward, if you guys allow me, stop me any moment to questions. It's gonna be interactive.
Oh, we're not shy. Yeah.
Okay. So we deploy a cloud console, a magic console, and pretty much you're gonna install appliance in your vCenter. And that appliance, what this appliance does? This appliance takes snapshots of your virtual machines that you want to protect it. Okay. That snapshots can be very aggressive every 50 minutes. That snapshot is encrypted in local, is completely air gap to destination, and it is storage. Those snapshots, they're storage in a cloud basis. So pretty much I'm moving all my snapshots, my data off on premise. Okay.
Yep.
Because why is it important to that? Because a lot of attacks, the hackers go there, delete your backup server. You can have your backup, your tapes, but it's gonna take months to install new backup servers and you read all those tables to make your journal. So we put all those snapshots on the cloud. Every snapshot that's being taken, we are creating a journal. So every 50 minutes. So we have some recommendations to Gartner and also IDC that is normal for in the security in a very good way to maintain 6 months of that data every 50 minutes. So we are able to in a back in time, you have a journal to see, okay, how far I can go to retrieve any data. Okay, is one of the things that
and I assume that's configurable, basically based on
you can change
the storage you want to
schedules,
consume and things like that.
Exactly, you can change that. The good news it is we are storing this in a low cost storage.
Cool.
Okay, it's different when they do a traditional disaster recovery that don't require another full data center and be running, because while I'm in protection mode, I'm only sending snapshots to the cloud.
Yep.
One very important thing that makes a differentiation to all other solutions in the market. The other solutions are storage proprietary format. We are not storing that. We're storing the real unchanged VMDK file. So that's one major difference.
Yeah.
Another thing, every time you take a snapshot, that snapshot is being scanned. That's the
cool.
first trick part. They're scanning about how many files is created, how many new files are created. There's any new extension files created, and then I'm gonna be tracking a change rate, entropy rate, and
suddenly something is updated. You know, half of the files on a VM, you probably have a problem.
Exactly, and then it can be an alarm to you. That's important.
I have a question for you, right?
Yes, Eric.
I'm going to go back to kind of my real world experiences, which is I get all this. This makes sense, but here's a case that I ran into. Right, I'm operating daily against my database. I got my web servers up, and I got business commerce happening, and I get hacked, right? And they come in and they hack into the system first, right? They broke into ESX, whatever, Then they got into the operating system, right? Yet it's running, as you say, it's running day by day, right? I don't notice, right? Next thing you know, they're writing into my DB, right? They're hacking the DB and putting malicious code in the DB itself. So now I have these, but I'm still updating the DB with customer records and other things. So how do I unwind the fact that I've got DB corruption where I need the daily updates to the DB because they have customer data, but yet they've also got, bad things in them. And like, I can't just roll back to 2 weeks ago backup when none of this happened, because then I lose all my customer interactions over the course of that 2 weeks. So how do you tease apart the different application spaces that happen, or basically you're screwed, right? One of the two. I'm not sure.
One thing that we offer is a IRE, which is isolated recovery environment. So one of the benefits of solution is imagine that situation that you define it. Oh, we got infection today. We got it encrypted today. What these solutions can offer? We can offer on-demand isolated recovery environment when you're gonna get drilled down. Example, we did this in a real scenario for a customer. We build a custom VM. So we get the server 2 months back when the
Right.
binary was okay, the
Yeah,
server was okay,
right.
no infection. So
Right.
we got that server back. And then 50 minutes before we declare encryption, we get the last database file. Okay. And then
Right.
we merge this to the old machine, create like a, kind of say, custom Frankenstein machine. But we created that machine in an isolated environment with NSX. So my database scheme could be logging remote in that machine, check, and then one thing, everything that machine is back. We have forensics analysis in the tool with a carbon black agents. So every time I pour on a machine, that machine has carbon black agents scanning for virus vulnerabilities, any malware, every time they report on that machine. And that moment is help the SA check out that machine is virus clean, is encryption clean, it is answer clean. And then I was able to pull the data minutes before the encryptions, and then I can merge the data manually. It's gonna be manually copy, of course. I'm gonna get my database file and put in my one machine that I know that's healthy, there's no virus, there's no answer attacks, and then I can build that custom machine and with a network isolation. I can test those things before I decided what to do with that machine. That we use that environment to do that.
Yeah, but if somebody is Eric's question though was about, if you've got somebody that's editing your database, Eric, I don't think there's an easy button for that.
No, you know how I feel that, right? There's
you're
no
going
easy
to have
button.
to. Yeah, you're going to have to go through that.
Yeah, I actually discovered what they were doing in the database. I couldn't find all the places they touched the database, but I realized what mechanism they were using once they had this code in the database, and I was able to block their mechanism. So I never really cleaned out the database. I never got it perfect, right? But I was able to disable what they were using, and so I made their hacks ineffective. And I to this day still run with some of those hacks in there, but I just disabled
exactly, because there's I said, there's no way easy button, because if you get encryption, then they're creating fake customers and fake transactions.
Right.
There's no way to track that. There's no way to track that. But
that's
at least
going to be hard.
That's going to be hard.
The point is, but if we can if an organization can automate and have good answers for the restoration of all the other stuff, scanning for viruses, scanning for the malware, all of that.
And that's what I say,
be able to take that off of their plate.
Catch it while it's happening.
To go through the database,
catch it while it's happening, right? Because once you go down too far, it just gets more painful, right? Like me, I waited a month before I realized what was going on until it finally stopped working. Then you realize, oh, there's this issue. So it is having the tools that you need to catch this stuff before it does that, right? Interesting.
That's the major difference. Example, I know in this particular case with the database, there's no way to prevent that. We can stop, like you did it. You stop the bleeding. You disable where the hack is that, but you can test that machine in an isolated environment, because the majority of the companies, when you're in the crisis, they don't have a spare hardware in an isolated network. They don't have that environment. Okay, declare. Okay, we're gonna try and restore. Okay, let's try and restore that. Oh, but that network is working. I cannot block. I'm gonna kill my network. Then, if you have an environment that you can control, example, with this isolated recovery environment that offering that solution, that machine could be per on, completely disconnected from the network, and then we can change the network isolation level. So let's do now sort east, east to west. Let's do only talk to the server B and see if there's with Vern login site, you can see the traffic they're trying to achieve. Oh, why that machine already recovered is trying to talk to all those bunch of machines. So we provide tools in a workflow and antivirus, and we provide all these tools that's necessary to try recover your data in a isolated and on-demand environment. So right now, in less than 2 hours, I can deploy this recover environment and use your snapshots to try build your data back with network isolations and with multiple teams working at the same time to minimize the impact on that. That is one of the differentiators of a solution is. But like I said, Eric, in that moment, there's no way to retrieve and all data, but we could retrieve your data from minutes ago, but also some bad data also going to be included there, but going to be also stop the bleeding. You're going to be remove your any kind of answer from your servers because we're going to provide the tools for that.
Yeah, no, that's a nice set of tools there, and covering a lot of the bases. And I'm just sitting here thinking, the having tools like that, and then your point about, organizations needing a place to do this stuff, practicing it. I'm thinking about tabletop exercises, organizations actually practicing incident response. Most organizations don't. They're so busy. They're so busy doing
there's one additional
stuff.
point that can make it. There's one additional point that's make a lot of this process hard for another companies with another software. So imagine a situation right now. All the companies right now are our competitors. I'm not gonna name it, but understand a little bit of everything. They're gonna copy the data and put in the cloud. Okay. And then you decided to recover data.
Yeah.
What that data, how that data going to be available for you? That data is storage on any block storage, very cheap storage. That data must be wait to be copied to whatever AWS, Azure, Microsoft.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And then that machine is going to be converted. Yeah, it's going to be like a conversion because that machine is going to be converted and run in a cloud native. Name it. Can be any.
And then in the public cloud, you've got charges for network transfers and all that stuff. Yeah, So.
And then there's another thing. Imagine that you clean that machine. You need now fail back. Another conversion, another things. Our solution is different because we can pretty much pour on machine directly from our storage without waiting the copy, with no VMware conversion, with no VMware key conversion. So this remove complexity and risk in a very risky and dangerous situation that we recover already. So that's one of the things that, and this really nice timing because time is money. Example, because if you recover this another cloud solution, you're gonna need wait time to copy the data back from the object storage to the virtual machine, wait conversion, then pour on, do things. So this take sometimes hours. One can do this in minutes, and when you do minutes, the sooner you can run your machines, you can pick. Because imagine the situation. Oh, I try snapshot from last month, discarded, not bad. Then I need change. I need try another one 1 hour later, another day, another. So every time you try a different point in time, you're gonna lose time with another solutions because again, another copy, another parallel, another conversions. We can do this in a very easy way because we're not converting the VMDK file. We are pouring on the machine directly from snapshots. That's one of the best solutions that help in the entire process.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Yeah, well, so what have we got here? If we've got a checklist for people to think about. Oh, go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry.
I have a question on the in the sense of, is there tiering of these type of solutions recovery? Like, for instance, we're talking platform, right? Like, we're a platform vendor, right?
Yes.
VMs and all that. But then I wonder, like, does SAP have some process and some service that they do at the application level, right? And so maybe it's like, okay, I got my platform recovery process, cyber recovery process, and maybe that picks up the database and all my applications too. But is there tiered services for other recovery? Because I'd heard things like SAP has a 24/7 response time where they'll jet somebody in and try to help you recover your they send bodies, right? Very expensive bodies. So I'm just wondering how that plays in when you talk about at the upper level DB and contamination. But some of those guys must have really good tools that do that kind of level stuff as well.
Well, that's part of the people and process side of this. We've been talking about the technical tools available here, but organizations have to really think about, what, an asset inventory. What do they have? What do they need to protect? Recovery point objectives, how much data are they willing to lose at any given time? Recovery time objectives, RTO, how long do you want to be down? And these are not technical questions. These are business questions. And, unfortunately, a lot of times when you ask these questions of organizations, what RPOs and RTOs do you want? They cock their head to the side and go, huh? So.
Right. All right. Fair answer.
Yeah.
Right.
But, well, Tarsio, like to what extent do we get into the business sides of things there? Do these tools just, as part of our process when we're talking to customers about this? Does it involve, planning, risk management, business continuity planning,
Yes.
incident response as well, not just the technical?
Exactly.
Getting done.
We do that because right now with these Broadcom acquisitions, we launched as a platform called the Library Recovery. So now Library Recovery, like I said, we decided to put the managed platform in the cloud, and since it's a platform, we sell a subscription to that service.
Sure.
And that service is now included major two products, SRM or cyber recovery. So right now we don't talk about, okay, customer, we have a traditional SRM. Okay. Traditional SRM
recovery manager, the more on-premises
exactly
sort of thing.
But now with one license, you can use product A or B or both.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Yes. So now, example, if I go there and have a customer with SRM in production now, 1,000 license, and about the renew, okay, now we're gonna do no perpetual license anymore. We're gonna do a based on a subscription level. But now, when you subscribe to the next 1,000 VMs, you can use both products because imagine the situation. There's customers that really require near zero response time. So SRM is the perfect things for that, for nature, disaster, and things like that. But SRM do not have the capability to secure you and have the tools to cyber recover. Yeah. So pretty much I have two tools to major cover two areas: traditional disaster recover and that.
And these incidents, you don't quite, they're all different, there's
exactly.
And so having flexibility to use them different ways, that's really nice, actually.
Exactly.
And that's actually something from my past.
And how we're going to, because right now, all those customers that have SRM and they really have any kind of plan for physical and natural disaster, they're now VMware, Broadcom. How can you help us to prevent cyber attacks? And say, okay, we can protect your data off-prem. We can have workflows. We can have isolated environment. So we are talking about that with the business because our customers say, VMware, I get encryption. I pay $50 million to retain my data, and I could protect it if it costs whatever, $1 million per year. Come on, let's use that. So help me prevent those things. The customers are looking for us to see our products only works for virtual machines. So if you have any kind of bare metal or Oracle physical servers, our solutions is for virtual machine only. And one thing that is coming, very important here, the last part. Our solutions right now is the cyber recover is cloud based.
Yep.
But there's a lot of customers that's any kind of data sovereignty. They cannot put data on the cloud. We are launching this with VCF9.
Very cool.
With VCF9, they are able to have the primary data center with another data center when you can run this full cyber recovery stack on the second data center
On their own. And that's really cool. So
that is coming. It's already be announced, and it will be launched with VCF9.
Very cool. Yeah, well, all the, I don't want to get into politics, but there's a lot of discussions about data sovereignty lately, and threats of cutting clouds off and stuff like that. And even AI stuff. One of the biggest security things when we talk about, AI and these large language models and all that stuff is the ability to recover them somewhere else, to move them, and so having more flexibility and cost control too, a lot of organizations really like the have looked at the public cloud and then actually found that they like just doing it the old way, where they just buy two of everything and then one of it just sits in another data center somewhere, and so but having that flexibility is actually really cool.
Exactly, because now we're gonna have one of the idea is have options to the customer. Do you want a more economic way and a cloud based? We have it. You have any data sovereignty and you want us to traditional, we're gonna now provide you the isolation that requires the carbon black agents, the audio workflow, the isolation will work, but inside of your home, your company. Cool. So we're gonna be able to do anything, but now internally if you need it.
Well, and you just got to remember to keep it separate. So attackers get in. You don't want them to get into. That's the tricky part. That's and access to these systems, access to the backup systems needs to be isolated. I do security and compliance stuff on a daily basis, and I talk to a lot of customers that had never really thought about having their backup stuff not attached. They just attach everything to their corporate Active Directory, for example, or whatever, and that gets hacked, and so I don't know. It's very tricky, and these attackers are clever, and so I don't have any other questions, Eric.
Just to clarify, Live Recovery and Site Recovery Manager SRMs.
It's all part of Live Recovery, I believe now, right?
Yes. Live Recovery is a platform and contains two products.
Yeah, there's an on-premises and a cloud.
If I get a full VCF license, that doesn't count. I need to go get this separately.
Exactly, right? Is an add-on
because there's a cloud function to it.
Not everybody needs this. Is the thing. Other people have other solutions. And there's And so,
okay, just want to verify that one, and so I understand that, which is good. And then if somebody's interested in this, where do they go learn about live recovery? Is like VMware.com probably has.
We have
Tarsio phone number here.
Exactly. We have some recorded live demos. I did it for. I run a show with some colleagues every month. We do a Tech Thursday, so I can send you the links for my previous records. We have hands-on labs. We have online demos to do that. But you go there. VMware.com, Cyber Recover. There's going to be videos, going to be blog, is going to be a first call decks, explain everything how the solution works. And if you Google, you're going to find a lot of videos and podcasts. You're going to find my sessions from the last VMware World in Explorer in Las Vegas. Not VMware World anymore, Explorer got the name, they renamed it. So my next sessions in Explorer are going to be talking about it and explain how easily can recover and install. And that video and show a little bit of hands-on. Show the tools. I'm a recovery machine. I'm doing enhanced attacks. I'm showing all those things in live, and there's a video for that in this presentation.
And I got to imagine that for many integrators are going to offer this up as well, right? Like I know that Broadcom has professional services, but they're also talking about pushing a lot of that to your favorite integrators as well, right? For the partner system. So I assume the partner system and your integrators will know how to
we have already partners. Big partners in the United States that already have this capability, and they're implementing VLR for major customers. So the partners ecosystem is already aware and have the skills to implement that.
Right. That's that. that's my expectation there. That most likely you either are a huge account, you're going to have an account rep, and you're going to go talk to them, or you're going to have an integrator that you're going to talk to a partner that that can help you with this as well. So that's probably your avenues. Probably nobody's going online and buying this stuff off a website and downloading it, right? So it's a bigger process than that. So that's good. That's all I've got, Bob. It's just usually that. And Tarsio, how do people? Are you on X or are you on /Twitter X?
I'm X.
Okay.
I'm X. Very easy. X Tarsio, my first name. Very easy. I have my personal email is also my first name. My Twix X handle is also my first name.
All right. So if they have questions, they can follow
Twitter,
X, direct, and then the next way you go. So I'll spell that TARSIO.
I-O.
Yeah. TARSIO. So at TARSIO, and
Yes.
you're good to go. And give them a follow and a like, and then you'll be able to engage with them as well. So good stuff. As we come up with the last 5 minutes of the show here, we do talk about barbecue, right? And you're down in North Carolina now, and I hear in North
but he's
Carolina.
Brazilian. Brazilians are
Yeah.
well known for their loves of meat. Love of meat.
I
mean, you
I
could
tried
be a
to American
vegan or something,
barbecue.
and that's totally cool. But
I tried to American barbecue, but one thing that I like for American barbecue, I like New York steaks and some brisket. I like it, but in the end of the day, I jumped to Brazilian barbecue again. I jumped to our famous picanha, and you don't cook on gas.
No,
And
that's
you don't
right.
cook also in chemicals, small chocos. We choco in the real wood chocos
Wood.
in the back.
Yeah, charcoal. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. And pretty much we cook our beef with salt only, no seasoning, no pepper.
the meat can
And
stand
that
on
we
its
do.
own.
So
Yeah.
picanha is one of the things. We also very unique chicken hearts.
The only time I've ever had that has been at a Brazilian barbecue, Brazilian steakhouse.
Called the fogo de chão.
They're
Fogo
good,
de chão is very
Fogo de
famous.
chão.
They're delicious.
Exactly. So we have a kind of a sauces. Garlic bread is one of our things. So picanha.
You and I will get along.
Picanha. Some chickens, but not body, but pretty much is picanha, everybody.
Nice.
Top sirloin, we do a lot. With a fat. That fat get juicy and that left. So picanha, top sirloin, chicken hearts, garlic bread, and that's it. Is our bread and everything in choco. We do that. There's no hamburgers. There's no sausages. There's no things. We pretty much do. Also, we don't like to do the traditional garlic bread. We do our own sauce. We got the garlic, mayonnaise. We go there. We get a dinner roll bread. We cut in the middle, remove and then we pass that butter. We did it with garlic, and we put that in the grill.
I'm gonna have to look that up. That sounds really good.
It is very good, and we put some seasonings there, and pretty much we put our sausage inside of that bread and eat it. But
nice.
the way that we eat the picanha is very rare, bloody, very bloody. So we want to cut it very bloody, and we drink beer and cachaça is what we do in our barbecues.
Nice.
But I try to do our picanha in a gas propane grill. The flavor is not the same.
Yeah. I used to smoke a lot of stuff with propane or whatever. If that's all you've got, it's all right. But once you do the wood stuff, you'll never go back.
Exactly. So that's what we do, and I still do here. And one thing that's very amazing. Picanha in here you can find it in Costco and Sam's Club. Very easy to find. It's called the top sirloin cap.
The top sirloin cap.
Yes, top
Excellent.
sirloin cap.
I will have to. I'm making a note of that.
You can find it in Costco very easy.
All right, I got a 1 minute Wagyu beef story, right? Like, so Most, Wagyu beef. You know, the history of Wagyu beef is that it's a type of cattle that was isolated in Japan for like 100 years. So they just inbred for many, many years and created the marbleized fat, and that you can get Wagyu beef grown from anywhere now because they've exported the cows around. So you can get Wagyu beef in Costco now, right? You can get Wagyu beef. And somebody asked me when we were talking about it, like, so what is Wagyu beef? And I'm like, it's a cattle breed, right? So you can get it anywhere. You don't have to go to Japan to get Wagyu beef. And so that's my 2-second barbecue story is, that I've been told if you want to have beef, just go to Costco and get the Wagyu. It's twice the price, but worth every ounce of it. Right? So
yeah, that is good.
That's my Wagyu story for the day. It's everywhere, and it's just a cattle type. Right? So go have fun. I made pork loin. I did one jerk, one barbecue rub, and then one just salt and pepper. And can't go wrong with that. Smoked it for only 3 hours, so pretty quick. Loins go quick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's some of our favorite meals around here is tenderloins and pork loins.
Yep, there you go.
Cool.
All right, with that, we're at the end of the top of the hour. So thanks to everybody. Tarsio, thanks for coming and spending the lunchtime with us.
Thank you, it was a pleasure.
Talking tech, and love to hear your community enthusiasm. It's always great.
Yeah, keep it up.
Yep.
Woo, I will.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim, for the opportunity one more time.
Thanks a lot. Have a great day, everybody. We'll be back again next week, Wednesday, 12 to 1.